Steve, I have to point this out.
Hmm.
What the is going on here? Right here. Look at my finger.
I was like, what are you talking? Oh.
What's going on here?
What do we got here? Couple legs.
I hope this shows up on a camera the whole time.
It's just like Gucci goo. Oh no, knife has fallen off now.
Oh, look. I was like...
Are you happy now? He's not quite blasting Foxy right there. It's probably been like that for the past few videos, to be honest.
Oh, God, that's bad.
Just like how you... Thanks for attaching the Zeozor backwards. You did a fantastic job there, Arnes.
Everybody gets a better view. You're welcome.
Listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve.
My name's Arnes.
And today we're going to be talking about the last Predator movie that has come out. There is a new one that's supposed to be coming out. Can't wait for that one. But we're going to talk about Predators. Or Predator 3.
Don't Google Predators. First thing that comes up is some Nashville Predators hockey team. See, he was like, you should look up the names. I'm like, you want the roster of the hockey team? Okay.
Sweet. I just assumed it was some kind of police search. Go figure. I'm pretty excited to be getting to the last one because next we can get to the
greatest
potatoes.
The greatest movies ever.
Oh, you don't even know. But if you guys haven't seen Predator 3, the hunt is on, one of their planets. So if you guys haven't seen the movie, the Predators bring the hunt to them. Because Royce, an ex-military guy, is, at the beginning of the movie, is falling out of the sky. He doesn't know why. Makes sense. Because he's falling onto a game planet run by the Predators with a bunch of other super scary people from Earth. And they have to just try to survive and find a way off the planet. It's pretty much the whole plot of that movie. It's nothing really complicated here.
It's straight up like 70s, 80s movies. There's no twists or anything like that. Just
which I kind of appreciate, because we'll get straight into the plot for this movie. I like it. It's pretty bare bones. Nothing too much. There's a little bit of tension built up between each of the characters, which I think is nice, because they don't really trust each other, because each of them come from like different backgrounds. Because you have...
Isabel?
Yes, Isabel. You have Hanzo, who was
Edwin?
the Japanese, who's like the Yakuza guy. Edwin was the doctor, the guy that stood out, which makes sense. Chuchilo?
Chuchilo!
I think that's how you say it. It was Danny Trejo's character.
Which was my favorite. And he was there for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. And then he's just out in the thing, just like, help me. One guy shoots him, help me. Dun, dun, dun.
It was kind of sad.
Yeah, they have like some other random people that nobody really cares about. You have like the convict guy and the guy from one of the African groups. He's like African paramilitia.
Yeah,
whatever.
something like that.
Yeah, it's random, like little nobodies. You had Nikolai, the Russian, who had the minigun. I liked him.
He was the weirdest one. He's every time shooting, he's like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I figured you know more what's going on there than anybody. Well, like a lot of the characters, they're pretty likable or despicable in certain cases. Like the people that you really don't want to like, you don't really like.
You ever notice about this movie? It's like nostalgia or whatever's it called, like throwback to the original movie. There's the one guy with the minigun. There's a guy with MP5s. If you look at it, each one pretty much represents the original characters from the first one.
Yeah, well, except Arnold Schwarzenegger's character kind of got a downgrade in terms of overall stature, you know?
I do like the reference, though, to the end of the movie where he, like, gets, all, like, jacked up and money, stuff like that. He's like, no, buddy, you're not stacking up. Trust me.
Well, I still think he did a good job. Like, I don't get how, like, everybody gives him such crap for being in that movie, because he's not really, like,
a good job.
The bulky character type you would think. But then again, like, neither was Danny Glover from Predator 2. Like, Adrian Brody, for, like, the film anyways, was pretty intimidating looking.
Yeah,
like, definitely more so than, like, in The Pianist.
Like, he had his moments. He's like, I'm not the strongest, but I'm the fastest. Stabs a guy in the mouth with that knife, you know?
Oh, yeah, with the Zecto knife looking thing.
Yeah, with the poison on it.
Surgical knife. Yeah, like that part's cool. Like he has a lot of neat moments. Like he just kind of like hides away from the rest of the group while they're checking out the predator campground. She's like, "You trapped." She's like, "You use this as bait." And he's like, "Well, yeah, but it lured him out."
Yeah, like I think his like overall specialty was his mind, you know.
Yeah.
And then plus he had a double A. He was Terry Crews of the Expendables.
Oh, yes.
He was like,
Mr.
"Merry
Terry Crews."
Christmas!" Da, 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 da.
I don't care what anybody says. I love the first Expendables movie. Second one's pretty enjoyable too. Third one's
There was a third one?
yeah. I have mixed feelings. Like I think it's a fine movie. But
Yeah.
maybe we'll get to those some other time. But most everybody, like I was trying to get into, did their role and serviced it well in the film. Like there's not really anybody that I would say is like stand out bad in the film. Like they all get their like little moments of shine in it. Especially with like Lawrence Fishburne's character. I forget his name off the top of my head right now. But where he's kind of like the kooky guy and tries to betray everybody because he wants their stuff. Yeah, but he was cool because he had like he had Predator stuff when he showed up, and it like kind of works. But a lot of stuff does happen in this movie, which is really cool though.
What about the Predators? Like, what are these Predators technically?
They are their own little hierarchy. Like they are the predators that got so advanced that they hunt other predators. Because there's like your standard predator, and then we had these guys.
So we're talking about like Kevin, and then there's Mike up there.
Yes. Pretty terrifying. Just like his reference. You'll never get it, but it's pretty terrifying.
There'll be the one person who watches this that works with us. He'll be like, ah.
I get it. And then one of them like, I'm gonna go show it to them. I don't think I even care.
No, I don't.
But yeah, no, these predators were technically I forget what they were officially called.
Pretty much evolved Predators.
Well, not even like evolved. It was just like they're
Older, maybe.
yeah. It was just like they got bored of hunting people. So what's harder to hunt than us? Another predator. So that's what they did. And there's even like the standard predator in the film because he's tied up to the rock because they
Yeah,
caught
but
him.
he was so easy to hunt though. Like he was probably easier to kill than most of the humans were.
Yeah, well, I also appreciate too is his like master plan was to cut down the predator. Like, hope he can fight the guy and pile the ship. Even though we already established that he got caught once by them, it's not going to work out in his favor. Again, the thing I like too about it being a simplistic plot is it really helps to showcase a lot of the actual like scenes that are happening in this film. Because it's not really you're not coming to this movie because you really enjoyed the story presented on the screen. You're here because of all the cool stuff that keeps happening throughout the film. Because I feel like instead of this movie, like the plot moving along by the story, the plot mainly moves along because it's like cool scene after cool scene after cool scene after cool scene. And it's just, there's not really much transition into these scenes. It's just like, we have this cool scene, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, they made it a little bit farther, and then we have this neat scene. And oh, now we're at the camp, and then oh, now we're running away from everything. Then we have the giant mantis bug thingy. And then we have the next cool scene, and then the next cool scene. And it just moves at a really nice pace that makes me not really care.
But he was saying pacing is good in this movie.
Pacing's really good. It's just the plot. Maybe could have
Steve.
been a little bit more to it, but boy, it's whatever. So just to conclude that part, plot is kind of like whatever, but the scenes are super awesome. Love it. Next we move on to the creatures in the film, which actually get more than I was expecting.
Definitely.
Getting into this film. Because first you get the three predators, which you have like the stalker, the falcon predator, and I'm just going to call him the leader.
He's definitely a leader type.
Because you have the one that uses like the little flying drones. And it's really cool because I really love the design of these predators because they definitely look more intimidating than your standard predator. I still think I prefer the standard predator though over them.
That's like one of those where like if you appreciate what they did, but
Like it's cool, nicely updated, and they're intimidating looking. But I still like just the way the originals looked a little bit more.
like I'm looking forward to the next movie. Like there better be something we have not seen yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because for me, I think these predators are a little bit too streamlined for me. I think it's the best way to do it. Because like the original one was super rugged looking, but yet still like sci-fi enough to make it very alien, which was really cool. And especially with the second one too, the movie Predator, because his helmet is definitely like got a little more like I don't know, that forged kind of feel to it.
I would enjoy figures from those guys.
They put them out a little while back. It's just like I didn't really pick them up because I wasn't really picking up Predator stuff at the time.
He wasn't picking up on Predators. Now he is.
Probably should have. Well, the thing I should have really picked up was NECA put out the dogs, is what I'm going to call them. The little dog-looking aliens that they sent out with the giant spikes on their backs to try to like lure everybody out so they knew where they were at.
Yeah.
To flush them out, if you will, because they were hunting them like foxes. I think it was the way that they described it in the movie. Those things were sweet. They could take a lot of rounds, though. Like, I like how the guy had the minigun, yet still couldn't hit the damn thing. Like, he's like, ah! The thing's just standing in front of him. Like, why? Okay, that acting was probably pretty bad.
You know what I'm talking about now, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Ah! Ah!
And the thing's just like, ow, stop it. Yeah. Yeah, like the one, like, gets, like, literally stabbed. But, you know, the bullets weren't really hurting them.
There's so many things like that in that movie if you logically think about it. He had a minigun and he couldn't take it down. Like
he should have killed every single one of those things. No problem.
And then that poor Japanese guy, all he had was that pistol. And the prisoner had nothing but a little shank. And it's like, man, the power balance is completely off in this movie, you know?
But they were cool because I like to see like them actually using other aliens in the hunt, which is neat. Because you also had that insect Kamacuras looking thing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you don't really get a good shot of it though because a lot of it's running. Still neat though because you can see that there was other stuff that they brought to the planet to hunt, and also kind of again used to lure people out. Because when they're fighting, then the predators know what's going on, which is really cool. And I like too that everything was still. There's a lot of suits used in this. There's not as much CGI as you think there would be, especially in a newer movie, which I could really, really get behind.
Definitely. We support that for sure.
And special effects. Awesome. Because it came out not that long ago. So all the explosions are cool. The cloaking looked really awesome. Even when they use like the CG dogs, looks good. And again, they use a lot of practical effects in this movie because like the scenes where they could use practical, they did. Like I could have easily seen them actually like CG in the Predator camp. And nope, all those are props. That stuff's there. Predator sitting on the pillar? There. When they did the Predator fighting each other? Still there. The only thing that was really CG was the ship. For the most part. Like there's again, they use like special effects here and there. But like that's like the big set piece of the ship. So, in the end, to conclude this review, Predator 3 is my second favorite Predator film. I like it just almost as much as the first one. Because I do appreciate that they try to tie a lot of this into the original movie. Because they even bring up that the original movie actually ties in with this one because they already kind of knew what was going on to begin with. Because when they see the Predator at the camp, she's like, hey, I know that thing.
What's her name? Isabel?
Yeah, Isabel. Like, that was actually really cool. And I like the simplistic plot because, again, kind of harkens back to the original film. I love the setting. It's cool to see more Predators in the film, more intimidating Predators. Oh, man, we didn't talk about the when Hanzo fought the Predator in the field with the samurai sword. I love that scene. If you guys haven't seen Predators.
You know what the greatest thing is? Not one Predator in all the movies dies by a gun.
Because the one exploded. Because Nikolai was like, hey, click. Yeah, because the other one got like beat over the head with an axe, yeah. That was the last kill. Spoiling it for everyone.
Yeah. For love of God, you should know this is already you know.
Yeah, this is warning in advance. This is the title. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. It is a really cool movie. But what did you guys think of Predators? Please let us know in the comment section below. And help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.